It's fall, y'all. I love all the smells. I love anything pumpkin. I love just being out in nature, you know, getting on a hiking trail and smelling the leaves and the breeze. But you know what I don't want to smell? My sweaty feet later when I kick off my hiking boots. Well, luckily for me, I can wear my Bombas socks. Bombas are perfect for adventures because they are specifically designed to wick away moisture so your feet don't get sweaty. Okay? Are you taking a last-minute vacation? Bombas has plenty of ultra-breathable styles to help you make the most out of your last warm days. I can go take my mental health walk and I come back and you know what? My feet feel dry. In fact, they feel comfortable. I love Bombas. Not only are they feeling good, they also look so cute. I just restocked my sock drawer and they have all these new patterns. I'm talking lavender, leopard print. Need I say more? Plus, with everything you buy from Bombas, they donate one to someone in need. Because shirts, socks, and underwear are the 3 most requested items in homeless shelters. So for every time you purchase, that equals 1 donated. So go to bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. That's bombas.com/TMGW and use code TMGW for 20% off your first purchase. Bombas are the bomb. Now let's get into it.
This might get weird.
Are we rolling?
We're rolling.
Well, then cheers, Grace Helbig.
Cheers, Mamrie Hart.
You guys, welcome to the first ever Evergreen episode.
Evergreen episode of This Might Get... Is this really the first ever? Yeah, I guess
think so. We've never had one that was just like on standby in case.
Yeah, these are... similar to what we post on our Patreon as bonus podcasts every month. So it does feel familiar, but I forget that this is meant for the public audience.
For everyone. I know. We're so good at doing the like Q&As or give us questions kind of thing. And then like bonus pod, it feels like you're sitting down with friends who aren't going to judge you. But now I'm like, oh, these little cunts are listening? We better step our pussy up.
If you guys ever want really pared down, pretty like... candid podcast, sign up for our Patreon and there's a fuck ton of old bonus podcasts,
like at least 40,
that we do a lot of Q&As and a lot of advice type of things, and because it feels like maybe a safer environment over there, we talk way more, I think, personally about our lives.
I would say this podcast is the stage show to the bonus pod's green room.
Yeah, there you go. Great analogy.
That was really good.
That was excellent. Absolutely excellent.
Oh my God. How are you, Grace? I mean, don't tell me too much because we still have another podcast to record.
I know. I'm doing well as of right now. If you're listening to this episode, it's likely because I'm tired, which is going to be part of the situation. The hardest part is just not knowing exactly when and how I will be tired. So we're recording some evergreen episodes. For the off chance that I'm like, hey, I've really been exhausted. I, had talked to Hank Green a little bit here and there and asked him like point blank, like, what was your worst day? Like, how was your worst day? And he was like, it was, just like laying in bed playing games on my phone. And I'm like,
you're like, what?
Something I do as a healthy person currently. So, wow, that is unfortunate, and I will look out for those days.
Oh, no. You're like, I've been training for this my whole life.
Yeah, so you guys can rest assured that that's probably what I might be actually doing in real life right now.
You know, when I'm very thankful I don't have kids is when things like this where, I mean, like, it's different if it's like, and meanwhile, like, my kids are running around and my poor wife is like having to like wrangle everyone, but you're just like, yeah, Elliot can bring me snacks.
Yeah, he's great at snacks.
I'm holding the faith.
Excellent at snacks.
Oh,
Cooking
really?
is a different thing, but snacks, he's great at. So
okay. I know. Same. Chip is really great at going to the grocery store and bringing back a bunch of shit we didn't need.
Yeah, Elliot doesn't even go to the grocery store. He hits up 7-Eleven.
Oh!
And it's like whatever they have to offer, the finest treasures.
Oh, right. You guys have one close. If
Yeah.
we had a 7-Eleven in my neighborhood, it'd be over for you hoes.
Yeah. Meaning you and Chip.
I was talking to all my pants. Because I neither fit nor not defecated.
Yeah. Bloated and constipated. That is the legacy of a 7-Eleven.
Oh, but anyway, folks.
Speaking of bloated and constipated.
When am I not?
It seems that everyone out there is a little bit, according to the research that I've gathered based on the context of this episode, is that we thought, we do a lot of advice stuff on our bonus pod. Why don't we bring that to these evergreen episodes? We haven't asked lately what people need our non-professional help with.
Oh, terrible.
Which, absolute caveat, none of this will be professional psychological advice in any way, shape, or form.
No.
And you should be extremely cautioned if you heed this advice in any way.
I mean, if I were you, I would just go the opposite route.
Yeah, exactly.
But we've done these before. And so some of the questions that came through are very similar to ones we've talked about at length on the bonus podcast.
Yeah.
And Grace was saying before we started, she was like, everyone has the same problems.
So everyone can immediately kind of breathe a little easy, because it turns out, based on asking you guys on our Instagram stories for what you need help with, no one knows what they're doing in life.
No clue.
Everyone is stuck and or trying to make some sort of change and does not know how to do it at all. Everyone does not know how to make adult friends.
No, that I think.
Which I get it. I struggle with all of these things. So this is very, very common. Like literally 90% of the questions were all within the same realms of needing advice on how to move to a different city that they've never been in before, how to make adult friends, how to deal with anxiety and depression, and how to deal with feeling stuck or lost or confused on finding purpose in some way. So take some sort of solace in knowing that like we're all having a lot of the same issues.
A lot of it. I mean, I think it's twofold. I think one, it's that as we've gotten older, you and I, our listeners that were previously our viewers are now in their 30s. Yeah. So it's like everything they're feeling that we've felt like 5 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I also think that
and post-pandemic, that's the other thing I would say, is that everyone 100%. Has PTSD from 2020 to 2022.
Everyone's reactions to the way the pandemic affected them is kind of showing up now, I think, in different ways. And it's confusing everyone, because if you're like us, I think you have this kind of sense that like you should know what you're doing, you should be productive, or you should have a path, or you should have goals, and like it should be clear by this point in your life. And the reality is like life got fucking weird unexpectedly. Yeah. And I think all those shoulds can be thrown out the window, and we can all just be a little more gentle on ourselves on going, hey, that was fucking weird. Yeah. So forgive me if I'm going to be fucking weird for a second. Yeah. And it might take me a little bit to figure out this new normal. And turns out everyone is experiencing that right now.
We're all confused.
I also think our generation, specifically millennials, because we were raised without technology, and then technology just like abruptly came into our lives and has skyrocketed like crazy. Like the psychological effects of having so much information and so many resources at our fingertips and still feeling lost is like, can be crippling in a way, to be like, why can't I figure this out? I have all these resources available to me. I don't think information necessarily means like help in any way. Right. So I think everyone can just breathe and be a little more gentle on the confusion that turns out we're all experiencing.
Y'all, you heard it here first.
And that's it. And that's the episode.
Welcome to our... goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye. We're all navigating. I mean, I don't think there's any right way to navigate how to do life right now. And also, I think like the zeitgeist of social priorities has shifted. Like people are not getting married and having kids and leading these very linear kind of lifestyles. No. And it's confusing when you live a very non-linear life to know if you're in a place you should be in, you know, if you've hit milestones that you're supposed to hit. And we have this constant influx of comparing our lives to everyone else's curated lives constantly. So no shit, we're all going to be constantly depressed and wondering why we're not keeping up as well as we should.
Also, first of all, who here has a master's in psychology? And who here has a bachelor's in fart jokes? Can we tell the difference, Professor?
No, who here goes to therapy twice a week for the last year?
And who here's just repressed everything to the and takes the edge off with drinks at night? But yeah, we don't. Everyone. This is what I want to say. Yeah, everyone who is hyper curated online is full of shit. Yeah, because I like. When people really have it together and then I get to and actually become friends, I'm always just like, oh, you little liar.
Yeah. Everyone's a magician.
Little liar.
Everyone's an illusionist. Yeah. That we're all presenting these magic tricks to each other.
Well, I like to think about whenever I see like a very curated, put together Instagram.
Name names.
No. Jacqueline knows I make fun of her all the time. I love you. I love you so much. No, but when I see like someone really put together online, all I think about was the situation of how awkward it was to set up their camera.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think we have that perspective more so because we spent a decade online editing ourselves. Mm-hmm. And so while we weren't curated by any means, we were editing ourselves to come off funny, to come off certain ways and taking out the dead space. Mm-hmm. So like I very much, when I see someone like looking really cute at a garden, I'm like, does she go by herself and have to set up that camera, or is her poor boyfriend having to do it for her? You know what I mean? And like, how quickly did she grab the camera back, check what was happening, and like not be in the moment at all?
Exactly.
Oh man. Okay. Now we haven't answered any questions.
This was the big caveat that all of these major questions that so many of you asked, we will not be answering directly.
I know.
Because it's one, we don't have the answers to them. Like we can give you generic kind of stale sort of Hallmark type advice about like how to deal with anxiety or how to move to a town, how to like, I don't know how to get you unstuck from the stuck position you're in, but I can tell you that you're not alone. Yes. So that's all. This was all to say that all of those primary concerns that everyone seems to have, everyone seems to have.
They're universal. Yeah, exactly. Like we've said the word solace, but just take comfort in the fact that like you might make eyes with someone your age across the coffee shop, and they probably also don't know how to make friends with you.
Right. Exactly.
They're probably also like, man, my friend group has got pretty small in my 30s.
I'm currently, figuring out and experimenting with how to make friends as an adult. I can tell you one way friends really show up is when you get an illness.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
That I'm going to throw out there as a tested method that seems to be working right now.
Oh my God. No, but we talked about on the podcast this week that we went to dinner with Tyler.
Yeah.
And even that, like coming away from that and going like, oh, it's relearning friendship as you grow older.
Yeah.
And like reframing it where it's not like we have so many fun, ridiculous memories with Tyler. He was like, remember, Mamrie, when you texted me, I was like, do you want to go to Passion Pit? And then you snuck in Fireball and we got blackout drunk and we were walking down the street and then that girl from teen.com was like, do you need a ride? I was like, what?
Like, what was that Mad Lib sentence you just said?
I said, I've seen Passion Pit live. You were like, you got tickets off Craigslist.
He said, you got tickets off Craigslist. We both blacked out immediately.
And then the girl from teen.com
saw you guys walking in the street and said, you guys need a ride?
Oh my God. But reframing that to go, oh, I love this person. I should maintain friendships with people. And it doesn't mean it has to be an epic moment.
Yeah.
We are going to have cheesecake and catch up with each other.
Yeah. And it's just putting in effort. That is a big part of making adult friends and making yourself vulnerable, putting yourself out there and following through. That's what you're best at. At the end of the dinner, Tyler was like, thank you so much for organizing this.
And I'm like, it was dinner. This wasn't organizing.
But it would have been that we should hang out. We should hang out forever with no distinct plan. And so putting a plan in place, following through is a necessity.
Well, I said, hey, because I knew you were free Saturday. I said, let's do Saturday. And he was like, I'm in. And then I immediately said, I have a 6:30 cheesecake.
It was perfect. It was perfect.
Do you ever wish you could just snap your fingers and have all your recipe searching, grocery shopping, and meal planning done for you? Like absolutely turn off your brain and it just arrives at your door? Well, that's basically Hungry Root. You're never gonna have to think about what's for dinner or breakfast or lunch again. Hungry Root is the easiest way to get fresh, high-quality food delivered to your door. They've got healthy groceries and simple recipes all in one place. Take a fun short quiz and Hungry Root will get to know you, your goals, and how you like to eat. What flavors do you like? What kitchen appliances do you actually use? And they'll keep your needs top of mind when they start building your cart. Hungry Root will recommend groceries based on your taste. Take their suggestions or you can choose anything you want. You can be as involved or as hands-off as you possibly want. You get to pick your fresh produce, high-quality meat, seafood, pantry staples, healthy snacks, sweets, and more. I got Hungry Root and I directed them a little bit because, like Chip eats meat and I don't, but he got beautiful salmon salmon, but then we got like stuff for vegetarian tacos. Y'all, they sent me this pesto that might be my favorite pesto, as well as packets from Omsom to make like a tofu larb, and my favorite deli meats, well, vegetable deli meats, plant provisions, so I can make a tasty sandwich in the middle of the day. Hungry Root goes beyond your weekly grocery haul with thousands of easy recipes that actually put groceries to good use before they've forgotten about in the back of the fridge. So spend less time shopping and cooking and more time enjoying healthy food that you're actually going to love with Hungry Root. Right now, Hungry Root is offering our listeners 30% off your first delivery and free veggies for life. Yeah, I said that right. Go to hungryroot.com/TMGW to get 30% off your first delivery and get your free veggies. That's hungryroot.com/TMGW. Don't forget to use our link so they know that we sent you. Y'all, you know that I have been traveling quite a bit, and there is nothing I love more than getting home from a long day of flights, trains, automobiles, all the things, getting on my couch and ordering Doordash. Oh my God, I love it. Doordash delivers your favorite restaurants, be it chain or your local favorites, right to your door. And if I actually have the energy to cook, they can also send some groceries your way. With thousands of grocery stores to choose from, you're going to find the best in your neighborhood and boost your local economy with each and every order. You're going to get exactly what you ordered, or they'll make it right. So sit back and enjoy quality groceries just like you picked them for yourself. Or if you don't feel like cooking, you can just order from your local favorite haunt, whatever you're craving that night. And if you want even more value, you can save on all your grocery and restaurant favorites with a $0 delivery fee on all eligible orders with a Dash Pass membership. Y'all, this has saved me so much money. With easy substitutions right in the app and the best-in-class customer support, Doordash delivers groceries exactly how you want it. And you can get 50% off your first Doordash order up to a $20 value when you use the code WEIRDGROCERY at checkout. That's right, Weird Grocery. It's a limited time offer, terms apply, but 50% off up to $20 off your first order through Doordash when you enter code WEIRDGROCERY. Don't forget, that's code WEIRDGROCERY for 50% off your first order and up to $20 when you try Doordash. I mean, what's the harm in giving it a shot? You know what's the harm? You're gonna love it too much. Oh, okay. All right. Well, now let's get into some actual. So we need them to trust us that if they ask us stuff, we'll actually look at it.
So these are some questions that, one, we don't think we've answered, at least lately. More interesting. Mm-hmm. So I'll get in. Here's the first question.
And I went on my social media because I got worried that everything was going to be like really heavy.
Yeah.
And again, we'll do that on the bonus pod. But here we are juggling on a unicycle. But so I went on my social media and was like, also just send me like some kujas and some like just generic kind of topics that aren't privy to needing to be answered at a certain time.
Yeah.
And so I got some good, silly stuff. So you kick it off and then I'm going to kick it back.
Okay. First question.
Yeah.
How do I start farting in front of my boyfriend? I thought this is helpful. And we've talked about this lightly on the podcast, I think.
Oh my God.
It's been 8 months and I'm still shy. We both know I fart. So how do I start farting in front of my boyfriend? Look, I'm married now, and Elliot and I have been together almost 5 years, and he only in the last year has started farting in front of me.
Really?
Yeah. And now he thinks it's funny. So he does it every morning. And it's fine. I think farts are very funny, but when he does it purposely, somehow it's a power imbalance. And so I don't laugh because I don't want to give him the power in that situation. He also tries to blame Goose constantly. And Goose has audibly farted in the past, and it has been hilarious. But she gets embarrassed as soon as she does it. This, I will say.
So have you heard a Goose fart? Yeah. And had to restrain yourself from laughing.
I laughed so hard. I told you a story that she farted audibly on a walk, and I pointed at her because my initial reaction was that someone was going to think I farted while walking. I caught myself pointing at my dog. Just on the off chance that someone from their window of their house looked out.
That girl farted. Like, no, she pointed at the dog.
Oh, it was the dog.
It was the dog.
She cleared that up. But I will say, so I'm still too shy to like openly fart in front of Elliot.
Are you kidding me? Okay, Listen to this power imbalance.
Somehow he said, because I had to be on this, I had this like surgery thing, and then I had to be on this low carb diet after it for medical reasons. And the low carb diet, I was eating meats and cheeses like crazy.
You're a little toot machine.
The next morning, Elliot goes, so this has never happened in our relationship, but holy shit, you were letting them rip last night. He's like, it smelled worse than I've ever smelled anything. And you were asleep. And I was like, whoa, babe, good for you. He's like, it was unlike anything I've ever experienced in our relationship. And I was like so embarrassed. But at the same time, I was like, thank God that happened while I was sleeping.
Yes.
Somehow that did like cross a threshold a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I feel less nervous if I do fart in front of you now.
He smelled the perfume.
He smelled it. He's dealt it. Dealt with it. And I didn't have to be conscious for it.
Well,
so.
I am in a similar boat.
Yeah.
I mean, Chip will openly. So I'm not going to like go into a lot of detail about my partner's
flatulence,
but it's not. It doesn't smell.
Wow.
Ever.
Chip is an anomaly.
I'm blessed. And don't worry if he farts and I'm like, babe, he will be like, good and well.
Well,
they don't smell.
That's true. The few
and I'm
times
like, mine do. That's
times,
why we're not going tit for tat.
The few times that Elliot, I've been like, babe, he's like, oh my God, it smells. And I'm like, it's a fart. What do you think? When it smells, he gets embarrassed. But if it's just the noise, he thinks it's the best thing he's ever done.
Yeah, if it's just the noise, I mean, like 1 out of 10 maybe. But
yeah.
But so I am the same way. I think I have maybe farted on absolute accident laughing hard and then asleep, you know, and now I can't trust Chip because he's will just prank you. So when he'll be like, you were like a tugboat, like I'll be like, no, I was not. You were snoring. You didn't. But I will say I've gotten more open. I mean, I'm so crazy. I like don't want to be in the same house in a different room doing it. But there's been a few times lately that I have farted.
Yeah.
Like he'll be in here like playing video games and I'm like, I'm going to go watch Real Housewives in the bedroom with the dogs. And then I hear footsteps and I have to be like, don't come in here. like fully don't come in here. But this mofo, it happened. I like farted and came about something and it was rough. Yeah. And so I lit a match. I had some matches on my bedside table for a candle. I lit a match and then I left. I went to Calistoga. I come back. I'm here like a week and he's like, you threw away the match? It was that done match. And I was like, what? I haven't touched anything. I just walked in the door. He was like, I was going to get it dipped in resin. Like a resin block. As a keepsake to remind you. I mean, so that time. So I'm like, oh, well, I'm never farting in front of you now. You are going to make that modern art out of my match.
Like I don't know what I like. This maybe doesn't help your question of how do I start, because we clearly are still struggling with this, even in like committed, solid relationships. But I will burp like crazy in front of Elliot, and I grew up. I guess my brother's burping. I don't even know. Like I do not register burping as embarrassing at all.
I only think it's gross when someone else does it.
Yeah, I guess. I don't really.
But when I do it, it's fine. It's totally natural.
But he, I think, thinks of my burps the way I think of his farts. That he'll be like, Jesus. And I'm like, what? What's wrong?
Yes.
So that part at least balances out a little bit. I don't know why I'm still shy about the farting, because I guess me too. Obviously, my farts aren't odorless. Especially, I learned the byproduct of a low carb diet. That's, I think, I haven't had broccoli in so long, and it was like I was full on eating like full heads of broccoli.
I'm about to have just bok choy for lunch.
Yeah. See,
so
your
my
diet,
body does crazy things.
How do you start farting? I would say eat a lot of farty foods and do it in your sleep.
This is our advice.
Do it in your sleep.
Episode.
Set it up so you do it in your sleep first.
Also, have matches and other things nearby.
Yeah.
So that way, if it turns on you, you can immediately clear the situation.
And if you're in a partnership that is comfortable enough, talk to each other about it. Bring it to the table.
Because
they might be struggling with the same question.
It's
Who knows?
about communication.
Yeah.
Whether it's
and
about
respect.
farting, boundaries, whatever.
And consent. Because if they're a person that's like, you know what? I appreciate you wanting to be open. But like, if you want to leave the room when you fart, that's fine by me. And that's maybe more comfortable for you.
Take a walk.
Yeah. I don't know.
You know, like literally let the dog out in the backyard.
Exactly.
And then let her rip. Okay. Yeah, we have no real advice for it because we are also sufferers of this plague.
If anyone knows a system that has worked for them and their partner, let us know.
Chime in. Okay, I'll grab one of mine.
Yeah, what do you have?
It's a could ya?
Okay.
Could ya deal.
Uh-huh.
He's 100% perfect for you, but he only wears clown shoes.
Why would I even try to drink seltzer while you're talking? Okay. Oh no, because clown shoes really aren't like, they're not so bad, but they're bad.
They're bad.
Like the big red. Okay, like Ronald McDonald's shoes. Oh no.
And then trying to drive in them.
Oh my God. Like, it is triggering because I always think that Elliot was Goofy, and Goofy's feet essentially are clown shoes in and of themselves.
But like, think about him like,
oh my God,
on the treadmill.
I would have to deal with it because it's like it's not like, am I the asshole now?
Like, I mean, that's always the reverse of could you deal.
It would give them ankle problems, surely.
Hey, look, I'm not saying what will those adverse effects be. I'm saying if all of a sudden you came home today.
How would we get in elevators?
And Elliot is wearing clown shoes and you're like, what's up, babe? And he's like, these are just comfier than normal ones.
God, I mean, I guess we couldn't go on planes. That's for sure. He'd have to take them off.
They'd have to go under.
They'd have to slide under.
They'd have to slide under the seat.
But he couldn't put his backpack under there then.
No, he would have to travel differently.
Wow. I mean, that would be his problem.
But imagine him standing at the altar in Vegas. With big red clown shoes.
I'm standing on the tips of his clown shoes.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, God, it's just problematic enough that I would be embarrassed, and then I'd be the asshole that'd have to get over my embarrassment because they're not like harming anyone.
No, what it would be, I always reverse it. I always go like, it would be, could he deal with me?
Right.
Because I would enter every situation and be like, he's got mental illness. It's his weird things. And I love him just like, I would just go in playing that like, he's my man. I'm going to stand by him.
Oh, you'd have to be like, he lost a bet. Like, he lost a bet. This is just, like, he's a good sport.
He has to wear these till he dies.
But where would he buy them from?
Clown stores.
Okay, yeah. I mean, we have the internet these days.
Yeah.
I guess I could deal.
Okay.
But
hey, again.
Oh, God.
I can deal if I'm already in love with him.
Right.
If I had been like, hey, Chip, come over.
Yeah, for the first time.
And I see these two shoes under my gate. I would have locked it.
How does he drive?
I don't know.
How much bigger are the clown shoes? Wow.
I'm going to say clown shoes are this big.
What's that? 2 feet long?
At
3 feet?
A solid
yard.
foot and a half.
We got a yard.
I'd be making a lot of like, you know what they say about big feet.
Right.
Jokes.
And then but that would be like, that would destroy your entire...
Yeah.
Could you?
Oh, God. Again, if Chip started it right now, I'd be like, babe, this is like, we have enough communication.
Right.
So he would know how badly it would affect me.
Right.
And so it would be a lot of like, you're going to have to really reason and tell me why you need this.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to know this is a sacrifice for me.
If it's like an orthopedic thing, like they actually help the feet.
Yeah. What if his feet just started growing and he needed
Would you be a shoes off household then?
Oh,
I would. We'd have to be shoes off at the door.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If he had still normal size feet.
Yeah.
The clown shoes. But also,
now we're getting into a territory. What if he had feet that were that size?
But also, I will say this, and I'm as guilty as it of him, but sometimes I'll be in the living room and be like, this motherfucker has 4 pairs of shoes in here. Like, if they were clown shoes, then we'd have a problem.
We'd have to put them in a special case somewhere.
Okay, I think we answered that.
Yeah, we answered that. That one makes me think a lot, though, because it really is not so cut and dry.
It's a good could ya.
Oh, okay, here's a question. that I think is important for us and our demographic.
Okay.
Someone's asking, where do you shop as a 35-year-old woman? I feel like I'm too young for stores and too old. More so for tops.
Okay.
They said. This is a great question because I do too find that I currently, I get a pass on my style right now, which is fantastic. But when sometimes I'm like, oh, if I get dressed up, what am I even, anytime I have a moment to get dressed up, I look at my closet and I'm like, I fucking hate everything in here.
Everything.
When did this happen? And I don't even know what to replace it with at this point. Where do you go?
Well, here's the problem. Here's my current conundrum, because I everything you just said, I totally get it.
Yeah.
You know, this is a person who shopped at Forever 21 till they were 35 and only stopped because it closed.
Because it closed. Yeah, I know.
Like when I was getting ready to go on my trip to Greece, I was like, maybe I'll go into H&M and buy a few basics. Yeah. And I was like, I was walking through there like I was Meryl Streep. I was like, look at me buying high-waisted khaki shorts. Like I couldn't believe it. You know, it's very, like I said, fancy lady cosplay. But the problem is with me is that whenever I go to buy like just some nice made, you know, things that are pretty plain, you know, that you can wear multiple times, then I feel so boring. So what ends up happening is I have a closet that's just full of crazy distinctive prints, right? You know, like very like 70s shirts and things like that.
Yeah, like psychedelic prints and stuff.
Yeah, but then it just feels like I have no
in between.
Yeah, or just, you know, it's one of those things where you're like, I already have a cute Instagram and that. Well, like the other day I was going to Instagram something and I went on mine to be like, was I wearing that from an Instagram 2 weeks ago? Which granted, you can wear a t-shirt every 2 weeks, but like because it's documented. Yeah. So I don't know. I think maybe
you've gotten into renting.
Y'all.
That's a pro tip, I think, as an adult woman right now. That was game changing.
Well, okay. As far as just like everyday looks, like if you just need like good t-shirts and stuff, I just go to Uniqlo. I usually do like Uniqlo and H&M, and then I try to buy from like more local stuff.
I've also looked up recycled t-shirts online. There's this one company called Unearthed, I think is what it's called, that I found, and then I forget the name of the other one, but you just Google like upcycled, especially like t-shirts, like basics and stuff, and they might be a little bit more expensive. But
wait, I want to do that because again, I'm trying to not do fast fashion. I talked about it on my Instagram the other day because people were like, "Where's this cute dress from?" And I'm like, to be honest, I'm an asshole, and I bought a shitty fucking dress.
Dude, I still go to
an
Zara.
Instagram ad.
Yeah,
and I need to not do that. So I'm gonna try to not do that. But renting, which I feel like is quite good for the environment, because when I'm getting this outfit, like it's probably been worn 40 times already. Yeah. You know, I'm not like buying an outfit, taking a cute pic and then like just letting it rot in my closet. But so I've been using Nuuly. This is not sponsored. No. Ugh. I wish it was.
I know. Well, N-U-U-L-Y, right?
N-U-U-L-Y. But what it is I basically, I think it's like $80 a month, but you pick out like 6 outfits and they have like tops or shorts, but I mainly do like one piece stuff.
And they're designer stuff too. And they have like expensive, cool shit
That's what I'm saying is like there's brands like Rachel Antonoff. Love her shit. Yeah. But I'm not paying fucking $400 for a sweater with a bagel on it. Right. You know, but... Cute. I am gonna rent it and wear the shit out of it and then give it back because I had a good time. I think it'll come really in handy. It's come in handy this summer really well because it was everything I wore in Greece I rented. Yeah. And then I'm going to Mexico next week and I have like my Mexican like looks, which like again, I don't need to own these.
And also if you had gone shopping, you would spend hundreds of dollars
at least
on cute clothes that you would then keep and be like, I've already kind of worn all
I
of
already
these.
Put this on
and
a
this is $80 a month.
No,
and then you don't even have to like dry clean it yourself. You just send it back.
I send them back dirty as fuck.
That's what everyone does.
Well, and what's crazy is because I like always like to make sure that like I'm getting a deal. Yeah. So I like go through and I'm like,
if I'd have bought all these outfits, it would have been $2,300. But I'm going to just wear them for $80 and send them back.
Exactly.
We love it. Again, non-sponsor, but if
people do Rent the Runway is another one. I've used that for events and stuff, but same thing with Nuuly. You can rent like everyday clothes.
Yeah, and you can look up the brands, like because I'll specifically look up a brand that I like that I don't want to pay for.
And they'll put
like
on
Farm
the
Rio?
site too. I love Farm Rio, and their stuff is not cheap.
Well, I bought one jumpsuit from Farm Rio.
Yeah.
Because me and my friend Kiwi were wearing matching jumpsuits to an event, and she wears all their stuff, and I bought it, and it's so cute. It's covered in sunflowers, but it was like $200 or something, and I was like, this doesn't work. But then now I just rent their stuff.
Great.
Anyway.
Adult
talk. Okay, you want one?
And
of mine?
also, there's sites like ThredUp. Again, not sponsored, but I really like it, where it's like secondhand clothes that they resell to people. So it's not renting, you're buying, but you're buying secondhand online. So all kinds of stuff.
Life is full of a lot of firsts, okay? Whether you're headed off to college, you're getting to the job market, or you're moving into your own place, doing things for the first time is very nerve-wracking. Well, if it's your first time managing your healthcare by yourself, let Caraway make it easy. Okay, Caraway is the care you need all in one place. Their easy-to-use app offers physical, mental, and ladies, reproductive health care tailored to the needs of Gen Z. With Caraway, you have unlimited 24/7 access to an experienced care team of doctors, therapists, psychiatrists, gynecologists, nurses, and health advisors, so you're always going to talk to a real person, not a bot. There's nothing worse than, having something pop up and you're actually concerned about your health and, oh great, yes, I'm absolutely talking to a computer over chat messages. No, thank you. I want to talk to a real experienced doctor. Plus, you can also message your care team to get quick answers to your questions, big or small, like why your headache won't go away, or do you need to know if a mole looks normal? There aren't long wait times, inconvenient hours, or surprise fees, or Googling your symptoms. We gotta quit doing that. Instead, Caraway is your healthcare in one integrated place. Plus, memberships start at less than $25 a month when you select an annual membership. That's less than a copay at an urgent care. All the care you receive from Caraway is covered by your membership fee, including, therapy sessions. And if you need labs, in-person care, or prescriptions, your team can coordinate with your doctors outside of Caraway and even help you navigate insurance questions. So, right now, Caraway is offering new members 30 days completely free if you go to caraway.health/TMGW. There's no credit card required to try it. So get free and unlimited access to chat with your care team for 30 days at caraway.health/TMGW for 30 days completely free. Caraway is available in select states. Go to caraway.health/TMGW to learn more. Oh, okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Hold on. Some of these are really good.
Okay,
really
great.
Good.
I can't wait.
Oh, this one is tough because I know our competitive spirits.
Okay.
This one says, could you deal 100% perfect, but every game you played against your partner, you lost? Cards, poker, a foot race, everything.
Wow. And so I know that I'm going to lose going into it.
They don't explain, but but if you knew you were going to lose going into it, would
I'd
you
have
just
the best time ever then?
Really?
Yeah. I think, honestly, I think that might work out for me. I do feel competitive sometimes, and then I don't like the pressure of competitiveness.
Yeah.
And I think that might alleviate the kind of pressure and allow me to just enjoy and have a great time and be sillier in the situation rather than waste my energy focusing on winning. But if it's that I don't know and I'm trying genuinely every time, that would be a little ego crushing at some point.
I think maybe...
Can they comfort me?
Well, yeah.
And do they showboat?
It's twofold.
Yeah.
Do they rub it in your face?
Right. I couldn't deal with. That would be a no.
We play one very intricate card game together. Yeah. And called Killer Bunnies. I'm still learning how. I mean, we still check the manual. Chip's been playing it for 15 years.
I've never played.
But there's 5 of us in LA who know how to play it. Period.
Great.
Period. And we'll have game nights. We had one like a week ago. And I always know there's going to come a moment where Chip and I are mad at each other.
Oh, really?
Well, it's just one of those things where it's everyone is out for themselves, but naturally there's going to be a little alliances where you're like, well, I spared your bunny.
Yeah.
So have my back on the next one. And there's some moments, there'll be moments because Chip knows the game more than anyone where he'll do something and he'll be like, Or I'll do one thing that's like kind of the tiniest bit, like, well, like you got to play this weapon, whatever it is, the tiniest thing. And he'll be like, oh, I'll remember that. And I'm like, oh, Chip just went dark side. He just went dark side. So and
then you see the little boy that he grew up from. You see that little moment of like, oh, this is how you were.
Well, he says the same thing to me because I'm so competitive, because the first time he met my dad and stepmom, Bar Rescue was in Dallas. Okay. And so they live in Arlington. So I was like, this will be fun. How should my boyfriend meet my parents? We're going to go to one of those Axe bars.
Oh, great. An activity.
Yeah. And we brought like a cooler with like snacks and, like everyone's my dad only drinks champagne and tequila, and he like never drinks. But when he does,
it's like the most raging hangover.
I know. But also like my dad never drinks. But then it's just so funny to me that like the idea of him drinking a beer when he was like a Coors Light spokesman is like hilarious.
And now he drinks like a real housewife.
Yeah. Only tequila, good tequila and champagne. But so we brought our own stuff and we're starting to play, and Chip brings it up all the time. He's like, I could just see Kid Mamrie. You were mad that your dad was getting bullseyes like quicker than you, or that like it wouldn't stick. He was like, everyone's laughing, having a good time. And I look over at you and you're just like, look deranged with an axe. But no, okay. So I am very competitive. So it would frustrate me to no end. But yeah, if I am aware, like if someone goes, oh, sorry, we got cursed by a witch, I'm going to beat every game. I don't know if it would like free me up from the competitive nature, or if I would just be like, it's not fun to play with you. Right. And then it takes the wind out of.
And then you guys end up not competing as much. And then the playfulness and the joy in your relationship goes away and things fall to shit anyway.
Well, I mean, do you and Elliot still play Scrabble Go?
Yeah, we still occasionally play with each other.
What's like your record? Chip got frustrated with me and stopped playing.
We played an insane amount of games. We've been playing for 3 years. Yeah. We started in 2020. We realized in the pandemic. We used to play like every day, all day, in between just like doing our shit. And then it was like, we need to chill out on Scrabble Go.
It gets addictive.
It gets really, and it just becomes auto, like your hands playing before you even realize what you're doing. The same with like checking Instagram.
If they had Scrabble as a casino game.
Yeah, my God. We'd be there all day.
I'd have a problem.
All day.
I'd have a problem.
If they had bingo and Scrabble, we'd be there all day.
We still gotta go to bingo.
I know. I would love to. Elliot's like secretly competitive. Like plays it cool, and then he's pretty decent at things. He's never like the worst.
You heard it here first.
Except for our family's March Madness thing. He's usually not that great at that, but he's like secretly competitive. So when he starts winning, then he really wants to. I remember you guys played like Rummy Cube or something that first Thanksgiving that we had down in Palm Springs, and I wasn't playing, and then suddenly I look, it was like a whole bunch of people playing, and then I look and it's just you and Elliot, and we've only been dating for like 6 months, and Elliot's still like warming up to everyone, and this was a big thing to be in a house with a ton of people, like for a holiday weekend. So he's already a little overstimulated and overwhelmed. And I was just looking at that table being like, oh my God, anything could be like, I don't know what the energy is like over there. But both of you were like lasered in. Yeah. Like I was like, oh no, I really don't know how competitive Elliot is. We haven't really tested this out in a while. And so I was like, I'm going to let that just happen. And
and then him and Chip played cornhole for like 4 hours.
Yeah. So he's not like, he and I are pretty evenly matched, which is fun and also frustrating. But it's that thing, if I knew that I would lose, I think I could like reframe my brain.
You go Office Space. You'd be like, nothing really matters. I'll play.
Yeah, I'll have fucking fun, and I won't have to have the pressure of trying to win. But if I don't know every time, I think that might like really destroy me after a while.
You know what's the funniest thing about this, Kudja?
Yeah.
The visual of me having a foot race. The thought of me and Chip being like, all right, let's see. I don't think I've ran in 25 years. Maybe a light jog at best.
Oh man.
Remember when you used to just run as a kid.
Yeah, remember
I
when
just run around.
Remember when gym class they'd be like, now run a mile, no stretching, just
Nothing.
like go run a mile, and then we'll just go get changed back into clothes and go do math.
It's one of those things where I just wanted to like, I'd saddle up to the teacher and be like, you know,
do we really?
what is the point of this? They're like,
don't know.
Mamrie, you have 4 laps. Move your ass. And I'm
felt
like,
like
great.
it went on forever.
I'm covered in sweat and BO. Let's go to chemistry.
Okay, here's the last question.
Okay.
That I think is fun. Someone said, girls' weekend with girls I haven't seen in 7+ years.
Ooh.
Go or stay home.
Go
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure, go. I mean, everyone's talking about how to make
That's what
friends
I'm
as
saying.
adults. You have an opportunity to hang out with people. Yeah, it might be a little uncomfortable at first to getting your like familiarity with everyone, but go.
Yeah, well, you and I were talking about this before we started, and that when people are asking, how do you make friends as an adult, which is a valid question.
Yeah.
Very much so. But also, I think a large part of it is maintaining friendships.
Yeah.
That you actually really do like. It's just that you grew distant.
Yeah.
Like if it's not like toxic, if you didn't need to like remove this person from your life, remember those people that like, you've known before and you might really like, you just never got close.
Yeah.
Or, you know, distance, having less distance with people that you just haven't talked to in a while. And this feels like a perfect opportunity. Go, you guys are gonna have a blast.
Yeah. Plus, it's always, I think, a little interesting and maybe reassuring to kind of hear the ups and downs of what people have been up to for the last 7 years. Because I think we all, again, going back to the beginning, feel really isolated right now and unsure of like if we're doing anything right. And if you have an opportunity to connect with people after 7 years, to just like be able to share and like, we all kind of feel a certain way. And how has everyone else been navigating and what's going on?
Also, the fact that you got invited and you haven't seen these people in 7 years means they want you there.
Yeah.
Because they did not have to.
Right. And I think this is like a good reminder too that people can initiate like hangouts like this. Like people, I think maybe it might be waiting around for people to ask them to do things.
Very true.
Maybe it's up to you to be the person to ask someone.
What is it? Is this a fake fact I'm making up? That your body, like with cell regeneration, like you're basically a new person every 7 years?
I mean, there's what is it, the 7-year itch or 9-year itch that's in a marriage?
7.
But I've also heard that like your hair texture changes every 7 years.
God bless.
And
I'm waiting.
It could have something to do with that.
Oh, well, you and we got some cell regeneration. We just got pedicures.
Yeah, we did.
We got pedicures this morning. And that poor woman.
She was working hard. They both were.
No, but I was like, could you do like the callus through? I mean, she probably looked at my foot and was like, yeah, take your boots off. I'm like, no, these are bare feet.
They've been off.
Goes and puts on clown shoes.
It is. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Again, one of those things of walking into that place being like, whoo, I feel like she's going to have a lot of work to do, but maybe this is normal. Maybe my feet look like everyone else's feet, but in my mind, these are just like Bigfoot feet coming in, needing some help. And they do a great job of passing zero judgment.
Yes.
Which I appreciate.
I wish I could look as like less judgmental as my nail tech today.
She was great. In and out.
I'm always just like stink facing and not realizing it. So when in doubt. Do
you want to do one more, could you? Are there any fun ones?
Let me see. They're all screen grabs. Let me see. Screen
grabs. And again, thank you for all your questions. We might end up doing another evergreen episode and get to some more questions.
Yeah,
in the
I
future.
think that would actually be really great. I mean, I have stuff on lock.
Yeah.
That's more like topics.
Okay.
This is just like a cute one.
Okay.
If you took up witchcraft, what animal would you want for your familiar and why?
For my what?
Familiar. You know, it's like your owl that follows you.
Oh,
your lemur.
Yeah. Okay. What animal would
If you
I
say
want?
dog, you're the most boring person I've ever met. Remember when I talked about being less judgmental?
Yeah, like literally 45 seconds ago. The first thing that comes to mind is like a hummingbird.
Oh, that's cute as hell.
Because it'd be very cute and it gets around so fast and can fit in small spaces. And like, I just imagine if I'm doing witchcraft, I'm going to need to know what's going on over there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Like, he can go like, and be like,
I can go scout different.
They're talking shit.
Yeah, like, and if like I'm going to an unfamiliar restaurant to meet up with someone. They can go scout the parking situation before I get there.
Wow, that's
Practical
great.
things like that.
To be like, hey, Zippy,
yeah,
go see if anyone's at this party yet.
yeah, exactly.
Because I don't want to be the first to arrive.
Right, and they can kind of incognito get in there and figure things out for me.
That's a great answer.
Slightly harmless, but also kind of mystical and magical and cool.
Mine, I'm also going to go bird.
Okay.
But I mean, obviously, I'd rather have like a cute little like slow loris or platypus or something weird. I mean, of course.
Oh, what did you say? Slow loris?
Have you ever seen them? They're like they're like
that sounds
tiny.
like a Pokemon.
They're like tiny little. Google slow loris. They are the cutest.
Slow? How do you spell that?
Just slow. And then LORIS. They are so cute.
Oh my god!
They just look sad and happy.
It's like a little lemur.
Yes, it's a little tiny lemur, and I think people do have them as pets illegally. But
endangered for being cute. Oh my god!
yeah, they're really cute. Like I'd want something like that if he was game.
Yeah.
But if I'm thinking about it,
they're venomous. They're
Well,
the only
that'd be
known
helpful.
venomous primate.
well, that would be helpful.
I feel like that's
as
your
protection.
logline.
That would be great. But if I'm thinking about it truly, like how it would help my life,
Yeah.
I think I would get like a hawk. Because again, it could fly and go see stuff for me.
Yeah.
It could it has the strength to deliver things. If I'd be like, go, oh shit, I forgot my fucking keys. Go get them. He can carry it. In that same vein, why they're scary IRL is because they can pick up small dogs. But if I had my own hawk, he'd go up there and be like, don't even fucking think about those two hairless guys down there. He'll answer to me. And in addition to that, hawks kill like rats and mice.
There you go.
So I'd be like, just fly. And if there's any one of those near me, you better pick it up, kill it, and throw it a mile away. So I think
a bodyguard.
Truly, it would be just a rat bodyguard.
Yeah, I think that's pretty perfect.
I love it.
I love that too.
Oh, that was fun.
Wow.
I enjoyed this.
This was really fun. Thank you guys for listening to this episode of an evergreen episode of This Might Get Weird.
Now you have a full understanding of how bad we are at giving advice, and we just we say one thing and then we negate it, and then we come back to it and then we negate it.
It's a symphony of contradictions.
And then we say we don't know.
We don't know.
Google it. To our aunt.
Ask one of the Green brothers.
Yeah, that's where you go. Oh, this got weird.
Yep.